Ellie.
We are
season
Rookies.
What do you guys think of Raymond Moore, the CEO of Indian Wells?
I'm sorry. This is a comedy.
So,
Like, I woke up and I heard about this and I laughed because I was just like, there's no way a CEO in 2016 would actually make those comments. And he made it in a confident, yet, like, just so, like, sure way. This guy was like...
You know, if in my next life when I come back, I want to be someone in the WTA because they ride on the coattails of the men. They don't make any decision, then they're lucky. If I was a lady player, I'd go down every night on my knees and thank God that a Roger Federer and a Rafa Nadal were born because they've carried the sport.
Like, I just can't believe he said that. Like, I was shocked and then I was angry. I guess for me as a woman, it's like, why would you say that being ahead of a company that's actually promotes and puts on an international tennis tournament every year for females and for males? It's a stupid move for him.
In sport, remember, he's a CEO, so you're thinking of businessmen, right? So you got to think of what's happening on the court, but also off the court. I think tennis probably, it's not going to hurt the sport if you have attractive women.
Of course not. And you know what? I don't think that was the problem, that having good-looking women, because there's good-looking women in every sport. There's attractive women in every sport.
Yeah,
basketball,
but tennis
football.
is more because they dress like, you know, in skirts and people are like, oh my God.
I can see like
I had the biggest crush on Anna Kournikova when I was like, you know.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys did. Oh yeah.
I still do, even she still looks the same. Too bad she couldn't win a set in her life.
But you know what? But they said that her sexuality caused her to be distracted from her game. Remember, she got, you know what I mean?
Probably.
So, but back to like this more fool. I just felt like in this day and age, yes, you may think it, but you don't say it. That's all. And he made a comment in front of media people. There were cameras, there were flashes. Like, it wasn't like he made it, you know, with some side chick when he was half drunk and was a drunken stupor. This man was actually alert and made these comments. That's why it's so disgusting. Yeah. And like, for me, like, yes, I do believe, yes, men athletes, obviously, for tennis, a male and a female game are two different games. Two different games, right? So I don't compare the two, but I don't think you should ever make those statements in his position of someone who runs an international tournament for tennis every year. It's just stupid. Like, why would you say that?
Power tripping.
Well, in regards to viewers, last year, guess how much viewers men had in comparison to women?
3 times as much.
Maybe.
Very good.
Is it?
Very close. Very close. Very
Two
close.
times?
Very close. It's about, so it's 973 million
For men?
for men.
And 400?
And then actually 395
For women?
for women.
Well.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Like, there's no, I guess, argument when it comes to numbers. You can't argue numbers and stats.
Talking about TV ratings or just like showing up at the tournament?
No, just
TV
straight,
ratings.
just straight viewing. So, but Djokovic, he's made 21 million last year. Guess how much? And he's the number one male. Number one female, Serena. Guess how much she made?
6.
21 million?
10.5
million.
So about half. But they find that, so when you ranking from 1 to 10, male and female, between 1 and 4, the male, there's a big gap, and it starts to shrink. But by the time you get to about the 5th seed, so 5th, 7th, 8th, it's pretty equal, going all the way through to 10.
Women, it's just Serena and that's it.
Well, she lost, right? She lost yesterday. Or
I know she lost, but like, probably bored. She should be on the men's side. See how she does against Djokovic.
No.
Throw her out there
You know
and
what?
see what she does. You never know.
Serena's just like a LeBron of her sport. Just her physicality is just.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
She's such and she's also like a fast. Like she had injuries too, and she came back, and she's playing. Like her mentality to win is unbelievable. Also, did you hear how Novak commented that yes, women should be more paid? So Novak actually retracted that statement today on Facebook. He said that what he said again. I feel like a lot of retractions are happening.
Obviously, I feel very sorry if in any way I hurt my female colleague tennis players. I have a very good relationship with all of them.
And I think like he said that after the match, he was very like hyper and adrenaline rush, and he was just very like very in that mind zone, in that mentality. And when he answered, he wasn't thinking right. So now he's saying that what he said, yeah, he believes that women and men should equality again. So he retracted his statement on Facebook to his fans today. Yeah.
So I heard.
I agree with that, but does the WTA have enough? Let's say this. They'd probably have to fork over money to make it even.
Well,
because if it like prize money's based on attendance, from what I know, and then it's based on viewership with TV ratings. So
but also sponsorships
and sponsorships, which probably the men get more than women in terms of sponsorships, because after like Serena and whoever else is like nobody cares about the rest.
But
like,
keep in mind,
I'm just like, it's like Serena, then it's like Maria Sharapova who just
Eugene.
retired or whatever happened to her.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And now who is it? Like Serena, and who's number 3? I can't even figure it out. Like I don't even know who.
Yeah.
All I hear about is Serena. When she's out of the tournament, nobody cares anymore.
Oh, Venus.
But you know what?
She's irrelevant anyway.
But keep in mind though, like a lot of people started watching tennis more closely with Serena. Like I know I did. Like I like tennis. I knew the people, but I wasn't watching an actual full tournament until Serena and Venus were on the scene. So I became a tennis fan because of Serena. Before her, I would just watch highlights. I didn't care. If she's playing and I'm up, I'm watching that game. So I think the sport has brought in a lot of athletes because there's more international diversity in the game. So, but I'm just happy that Novak retracted it, because for a whole day people were like, yo, like is he siding with this crazy Moore guy? Like what's going on, right? But again, he apologized and tried to retract everything. But I think, again, in sports, the WNBA will never be the NBA. So yes, equal pay will not happen in that genre. Never. Ever. Right? But,
you think it should in tennis?
Well, I don't know if I think it should. I just think that you can't say it shouldn't because of just ratings.
You can't say?
No, I'm saying like, if we're saying it should, I think
it should for sure. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
It should technically in a perfect world.
Yeah.
But
to me,
this is business. And
no, I get it.
WTA doesn't want to say, hey, if Djokovic wins, he's going to get 21 million, and then Serena's going to get 10. Who's going to come up with the other 11 for
But
Serena?
keep in mind, I think I remember reading today that I think the USA Open last year, the women's games were sold out faster than the men's games, like attendance wise.
Really?
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So on American soil, women. Cause remember, the female like Serena is the big selling point, right? She's one of the top athletes in tennis. So on U.S. soil, her games are sold out fast, really quickly. So I don't know. I feel like this debate will happen forever. Equality has always been an issue, a topic for men and women. But I think as a female athlete, you cannot not pay her good money because she's a woman and because she didn't get enough attendance. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did female tennis players actually start playing tennis? You know what I mean? Like, it was obviously after a guy started playing it. In every sport.
You're talking about the history of
Yeah. Okay. I feel like in every sport, every sport was a man's sport at the beginning. Except for maybe gymnastics or something. You know what I mean? But they're all sort of being male sports, and then women slowly got into the sport. Yeah. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Historically, it makes sense because that was always a part of, sports. So slowly, as women are getting more competitive and athletic and playing more sports, that becomes play in like women's rights. And I think in the future, like I don't think a daughter shouldn't get paid more than a son because of her gender. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's just like, it's a sport. Like, I can't help it that I can't pitch a ball as fast as, Sanchez. Like, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen, ever. Right? But I think I should get paid well because of my skill.
Yeah.
So...
Well, the thing is, I don't think women are being underpaid, though, in tennis. I don't think they are, because it's showing between 5, 10 when your ranking goes down. It's
now,
pretty much equal.
No, but now, that's now. But before, they were being underpaid. Oh, yeah. Right? Sure. So that's why they fought for it, right? But keep in mind, personally, I think matches or tournaments, equal pay is fine. Because guess what? Novak's going to get way more money than Serena in endorsements. Way more. So, like, it's equal for matches, but his endorsements will be a lot more money. Like, so, like, who cares?
I got a side note. How about that Spurs beat down of Golden State on Saturday?
Oh, boy. Okay. I think that would be the Western Conference Finals.
That
The
should
Spurs.
be the NBA Finals.
I know.
I wish they were in the East and West. Forget it.
Oh, my poor Raptors.
Poor
Poor Clippers. Yeah. I can't see any Eastern team being those teams at all. Like, I was trying to think, maybe if LeBron plays at his highest level and everyone else does, but the Spurs defense is so good. Like, it's so good. Mm-hmm. I cannot see any team.
Not even that, but people were talking about, like, on ESPN First Take, they're talking about, like, did Popovich purposely play everybody? Like, he played his whole roster. Usually, you know how he does it later on in the season. Hey, let's just rest a couple guys here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Duncan didn't play a lot.
Well, Duncan was hurt. So he didn't play. Diaw, I think, Diaw started.
Diaw
and
started,
it was like
right.
Leonard, Aldridge,
Right.
Parker, and Danny Green or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But usually Pop doesn't do, like, he doesn't just throw, like, all his cards on the deck. But maybe because he wanted to defend home court, but people were saying, like, did he do it because he's trying to figure out Golden State?
Probably.
And now they play twice more still.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to start those guys again, or are they just, he's figured it out, and now it's just like, okay, I'm good. Let's see you in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Or is it like, okay, let's do it again. 2 weeks from now, we meet again. But it's just a big point they brought up.
Well, do you think that, Steph clearly got shut down that game.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a Spurs defense, or is he allowed to have an off night?
He's been off last night, too. He was off yesterday.
Yeah, I think they're tired. They look tired.
He looks very tired, like exhausted.
I would just rest. Who cares about this record with Jordan?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
It's not that serious.
I think
We're in the playoffs.
winning playoffs is better than a record. Who cares? You have 2 rings, you're good. But I think the Spurs, after their loss to the Clippers last year and how they lost, they're on a vengeance right now, man. I would not want to play the Spurs in the playoffs. No. They're gonna come because even in that series, they slacked off a couple games, and I think they have this chip on their shoulder, like they cannot lose. So I think that's the team to look out for in the playoffs. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
I think if Bo gets hurt, the Golden State might lose. I don't know if you saw the lineup they had yesterday. They had Draymond Green at center.
Okay.
He's like 6'8".
They had him last year at center, didn't they?
No, they had Bogut at center throughout the playoffs. And they had Draymond at the 4. They had Harrison Barnes yesterday at the 4.
And then they moved Draymond
to the 5, and they put I think Brandon Rush at 3.
Well, they can
Or
go
McAdoo
small ball
at
though.
3.
They can play small ball.
They can. Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm saying if they meet a team that's just dominating on the glass, like I don't know. See that they're lucky because in the West there's not really a team that has that. The
OKC.
Clippers, yeah, they have Cantor though. Cantor can't do much. Other than that, Cantor and who? Ibaka, yeah, okay,
Adams.
maybe Ibaka.
Oh, Ibaka can do
Adams.
Here and there. But I mean, these guys aren't like, oh my god, like DeMarcus Cousins, Steven Adams. You can worry about those guys. They're not going to score. They're not. You don't focus on them on offense or defense.
No,
They're just like, okay, whatever. They're role players. But even San Antonio, they don't really have a legit center. Like Tim Duncan's a power forward. Aldridge is a power forward.
Yeah, they got rid of Splitter, so.
They got rid of Splitter. But I mean, if they run into, say, like it was like Golden State versus Miami in the finals for whatever reason, I think Miami could win that series. Only because Whiteside and Amari. If those guys get going and grab boards and dominate, I think they could. I don't think Draymond can hold up against. And I'm saying if Bo gets hurt.
And that's assuming.
And he's been hurt for a while now. I mean, he's got his foot issues, and he's had it every year anyways. So he's not going to get any better. I mean, he'll be what he is. He'll be a limp heading into the playoffs. Put it that way. He won't be at 100%.
I think Miami, they could win a couple games, but 7 games in a series, I don't think they're going to win 4 games. 4 games against Golden State? No.
Okay.
Home court advantage? Home court?
You
think they're going to beat Golden State at home at all? In the playoff game?
They played them tight already twice this year.
I know they played them tight. I agree with you. But I'm saying, like, do you think they can actually win a game in Golden State? That's hard to do. They don't lose at home.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, certain teams, like, you can't play them at home. Like, you will get destroyed. Spurs, so to me, like, right now, they have to play to ensure they have the number 1 spot because if they're playing Spurs in the Western Conference Finals, they need the home court advantage. They need it. They need it. So whatever they do, they gotta be number 1, Golden State, regardless of whatever they end up with. Did y'all hear about those the Lakers players chirping at a mom and daughter in the car? You hear about that stuff?
That was probably blown way out of proportion.
But you know, honestly,
like, hey, how are you doing, Mom?
How
you doing?
What?
The daughter probably recognized them and said, hey.
The funny thing on Instagram, she didn't know who they were, but people were like, hey, that's so and so, that's so and so.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, I don't know. To me, listen, if you're an athlete in the NBA, like in these leagues, just shut the hell up. Like, just keep like don't chirp at girls. Like I understand they're men. You can't make a man as a man. A man's a good looking girl, whatever. I'm not sure what they told this woman and her mom, but you know.
Was it Clarkson and Russell?
No,
It was,
Nick
guards,
Young
two
was
guards.
Nick
I thought it was
Young.
Clarkson.
It was two guards.
Nick Young was one. I
It
know.
was-
Whoa,
Nick-
what's Nick Young doing?
It was Nick Young. It was Nick
Was
Young.
Oh,
It was Nick
Trouble in
Young.
Paradise.
It was Nick Young, and it was two guards.
Lou Williams.
Oh no, I think maybe it might was it. I don't want. You know what? Let me look this.
I read earlier it was like Clarkson and somebody else.
So maybe it was Clarkson and Young then.
Clarkson and Young.
Yeah, you're right. Clarkson
Clarkson
and
Young?
Young. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean,
And the Lakers issued a statement saying that they're saying how they saw the situation isn't the same as the way she saw it, and so they're just not agreeing to what happened essentially.
Right.
But they're gonna have her come in and speak to them about sexual harassment. Because to them they were harassing her. They're just being like cute, like well I wasn't there. I don't know, and I felt bad because her mom cried. She was upset. So her feelings, how she felt, it sucks. So, but the Lakers is trying to rectify, which is good. But I mean, just don't be chirping at girls, man. You're an NBA player. Like you see a hot girl, have your boy chirp. You don't do the chirping. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you never know. I mean,
I'm just joking. I know.
Yeah.
I
Say
know.
hi to a girl.
Well,
and they're
well,
like, oh my god,
well,
he
what's
tried
funny?
to, like,
Oh my God.
come on. She's going into the Lakers to have.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah. They want to invite her to talk to the two players and kind of rectify the
It's gonna be
situation.
awkward, but
yeah.
I'm glad. I don't want to be in that room.
I think Azalea's gonna be around.
Oh, Iggy, poor thing.
FIFA, the new head, Giovanni Infantino, he's talking about possibly introducing video and technology into the most beautiful game.
No, I wouldn't
so-
say it's most
So
beautiful right now.
how will he?
And so one of them that they're thinking about that, he's pretty much saying it's like they're going to do trials, but he's saying it's pretty much inevitable. Where within, the one that caught me the most was within the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
If you get fouled, you go to the spot. Penalty kick. Now, with any fouls within the 18-yard box, it's reviewable when they incorporate this. Which completely change everything.
Really? So now you can review.
Well, not now. They're testing.
They're testing to
for
see.
something that possibly in the future.
Question.
Is it like a challenge thing, like where they throw a challenge flag or something?
Kind of a challenge.
well, I mean, how it is now. If
Or
there's,
is it just they're gonna go right to review it?
yeah, probably find out some format where
Really?
they'll review it, and if they feel it's a foul, you go to the spot, and if not, you won't. Soccer, it's one of those pure games, and technology is gradually starting to be introduced.
I don't think that's like. I don't think like. Do you think there's that many bad calls when it comes to foul that
Yes.
they need to?
Yes.
FIFA's the most
Yes.
corrupt.
Yes.
So okay, so if you think that, then how much longer will this game be? Will this account during the time? Will it will they
But-
pause the time? So do you think adding this will make the games more fair? Do you think that it will be
Yes.
a more fair?
I think many games are decided.
By
Because remember,
money,
soccer,
mafia.
you can scores are 1-0,
yeah,
2-1.
yeah, 2-0,
So
whatever. Yeah.
when you go to the spot, the majority of times you go to the spot, you're gonna score. So if you get fouled in the 18-yard box, that can decide your game right there.
Okay, that makes sense.
But so we're talking about FIFA as in the World Cup or Euro.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No,
They need to look at other things other than video replay right now. They gotta.
Okay.
That's like the least of their worries that they should be right now. They got so many corruption scandals going on right now.
Oh yeah, well they have the most scandals because
Who the hell
a
cares?
lot of people bet on those games like globally. Like this is like one of the biggest sports people bet on. But no, I think now that you just explain it that way, there's a few points scored in soccer, football. So.
But what takes so long for I'm not sorry for cutting you off, but I don't
No
understand what it takes so long for them to even implement the video replay. Remember Thierry Henry versus Ireland?
Yeah.
And Ireland was on the brink of qualifying for the World Cup, and it would have been the biggest story in
Right.
Irish history.
But
And then he handballs it, and it's blatant right on camera, and
right.
now that was 4 years ago, and they still haven't thought of
that's more than
let's
4 years
bring-
ago, yeah.
let's bring in video replay. Well,
Yeah.
why don't you just
Video-
right after that happened,
Right.
clearly,
But I think FIFA wants to control the games. The scandal. They want to control the outcome of each game. So I think by not not having that type of implementation, they get full control. Because remember, these refs, who knows who's paying them off, right?
Yeah.
So by having those cameras, and also I don't think there was, we know like now in NFL they have like those cameras that fly, like they kind of like fly across the field. So I think now with technology, they can afford to do that stuff.
You know what they should do? Well, and they're not listening to me anyways, but still. You know how the refs have like those earpieces in anyways when they're running up and down the field?
Yeah.
They should have like a reffing crew in like the box
Yeah.
watching the video. Like have a reffing crew like in the box and then have the reffing crew on the field, and then if there's like a challenge, the coach should have like a challenge or two a game, something like that. You know what I mean? Just something like where you can keep it at least somewhat non-corrupt. And then that referee should like call up to the booth or something, or they should say something in his ear while they're watching the play happen. And then whatever time that takes, that should just be added on to extra time.
Yeah.
But try not to make it more than 2 minutes. I mean, you don't want to make it ridiculous 20-minute
Yeah.
reviews, and you're like, oh.
Well, there aren't that many penalties within that box.
18-yard box.
Like how many would you say? Like maybe like two a game, maybe one or two. Maybe so
like,
I don't think it'll eat up the clock as much, but I think because the outcome, like I mean, the goals are so minimum compared to other sports.
Yeah.
I think it's important to make sure that call is right.
Exactly.
It needs to be correct, right? So yeah.
And it takes a lot of pressure off the on-field ref. too.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about, this guy was paid off by the mafia.
Yeah.
It's just like, think about it, so.
So with the MLS, play is obviously getting better, finding the game a lot more exciting.
Way better. Hallelujah.
Found something interesting though with the MLS. So you have a lot of high profile names now, which is kind of tagged as like the retirement league before.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, get big.
That's a good tag.
Now,
I call it the 35 and over league.
okay. But now it's like these players. Well, I'm just gonna go through a list of the top 10 jerseys sold, because that's going to tell you in regards to popularity of the players, and then we can judge that popularity in regards to the play on the field. So the top 10 jerseys sold in the MLS. First, Clint Dempsey.
It's number one?
Number one. No, well, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, American.
He's American.
He's
right?
American, yeah.
So Kaká.
Caw. Sorry, I'll do that when I hear his name. I can't help it. It's like a literal reaction. Sorry, go ahead.
Pirlo. Villa.
Who? David Villa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Obafemi Martins.
Okay.
Lampard.
Yeah, of course.
Bradley Wright Phillips. Breck Shea. And Mix Dexterud. Okay. So those are top 10 jerseys sold.
I don't know.
Where? Like North America?
No, it doesn't. It just says
It's up
those are top
MLS?
10 MLS jerseys sold.
Okay.
Okay. In regards to the best 11 players, how many of those do you think at the end of the season were ranked by the league as the top players
So you're saying on this list,
on this list?
how many were
4.
ranked?
4.
I would say 3.
0.
Really?
Oh my god.
I would have thought at least Dempsey.
At least 3 people.
At least.
Let's see. So that it depends on how you interpret that, right? That could actually be saying something to the league, but that's actually a perfect marriage right there, because you have those popular names in which people are obviously going to buy the jersey and show up to stadiums to watch them, or even.
But yeah, the top 10 players aren't even. That's
Aren't
actually,
making-
So that's actually saying
But-
something to the league, because the top 10 players, it's based solely on play, not so
Yeah.
much on your name.
But you know what? That means the league is doing some poor marketing, man. I mean,
True.
you got to recognize, like, I think if you watch sports, like, certain leagues, you know, will like, push, like, the LeBrons and, like, stories of, like, you know, like, Stephon Curry. Like, 'cause people are always getting, like, marketing everywhere. But MLS, they're obviously not pushing the right people.
No, they're not.
They're not.
So, watch this. The league MVP last year, Sebastian Giovinco, he was on that best 11, by the way. Jersey, no. But he was on the top 11, but, okay, we're in Toronto right now.
Right.
I've spoken to people who follow like La Liga, EPL, the big European leagues, and he's like a passing name, like that's a bad, but they're not familiar.
Yeah.
Toronto, it's not.
How could you have the MVP in your hometown?
Not have the jersey sales.
Not have a jersey sales. Not when was even like marketing, advertise, like commercial, like anything.
Nothing.
But
That's
again,
the problem.
That's the Toronto effect.
Well, okay, let's
Play
not alienate to Toronto, because I'm pretty sure what's happening in Toronto is happening in other MLS cities also, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, maybe Vince Carter's probably the only time I've ever heard of any Canadian-based franchise have a top jersey sale.
But you know what?
Other than that, like, there's no Blue Jay that's ever had it, and they won 2 World Series in the 90s.
But what I think the problem though is that, like, you know how like when the NBA is back or NFL back, they promote their top athletes. They promote them in commercials. I mean, even like the big broadcaster, they promote those athletes. Clearly, the disconnect between MLS, broadcasting, and marketing, all disconnect, and it sucks that a MVP of a league is not even getting recognition. That sucks. That really sucks. So Jerry Jones said today he feels that the link between CTE and the NFL is, quote unquote, absurd.
Oh my gosh.
Absurd, okay? Now, please let me know why you think, again, this rich man, I feel like this week, like, rich man saying stupidness, because, like, I don't understand why he would think that the link between it, themselves has said, yes, there's a link, and other owners have also said there's a link. Why would this other owner, and he's obviously a big owner in the NFL, right? Biggest teams, would say that this link is absurd.
The brain has different stages in your lifetime. And I wish I had it here. But do you know at what age your brain, because being a muscle is like at its optimal, it works best. You know what age? Take a guess.
I'll say 20s.
35 to 40.
If you're the age of 22 right now,
You're a genius.
you're on top of the game. The
Really?
world is yours right now.
Your brain is.
Yeah, 22.
Oh.
I'm
So-
stupid.
Yeah.
You're even more stupid, Freddie. Freddie, you're pretty much brain dead for all we know.
Yeah, so at age 22, it's a peak, and then you have like 4 or 5 years of that peak years, and everything past that is just a gradual downhill slope.
We all dying, y'all.
So, but with young football players, like Pee Wee, and you're talking like, say, 9, 10, young ages where people are getting involved with football. So the brain is not even developed since second stage. So it's not, so it's still, you're not like a newborn, but you're not like an adult. When you're at like, say, 10, 11, 12, so your brain is soft, your skull is hard. When your head takes any type of trauma, your brain naturally will shift. And when it shifts, it's going to stop by hitting the inside of your skull. That's kind of logic. Now, when it hits the inside of your skull, your brain, which is soft tissue, will then start to bleed because it smashed against the skull. And things like that cause what they research now in regards to CTE and different disconnects in wires and nerves. I'm not seeing how she could say that she's not seeing it with young kids when your brain's not developed. If you're a kid taking hard shots, things that you're doing at 12, 13, 14 are definitely going to affect you later in life. So it just almost seems logical. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to figure that out.
No, it's common sense. That's all. And like, if we've seen concussion, which you saw,
right?
I read about it, but like for like the last 10 years, NFL and other NFL paid people have been denying CTE. Finally, NFL has actually admitted that yes, this is a problem, because even if Peyton Manning, other like fathers who kids play sports are saying, even Will Smith, they're saying, my child now playing football, I have to let him know that this could be a possibility in his career. And if he wants to play the sport, he needs to be aware of that issue. The thing isn't that we're trying to bash the NFL, the owners. The fact is that CTE is a problem. They need to help athletes who have it. and compensate them for that issue because it's a lifetime disability. Lifetime, right? And I think young athletes, male and female, who are playing these sports need to be aware of what can harm them in the future. And if they say, you know what, I'll play, that's fine. But at least they're aware of what could happen to their brain. Right? We can't deny that it's not affecting them. And for him, Jerry Jones, to say it's absurd, you're absurd, bro. How about that? How about that? Confused.
Okay, welcome to the Season Rookies podcast. Episode number 1. My name is Prez.
Jeremy.
Nelly.
Oh, okay, do it again.
Let's do it again.